My name is Beatriz Martinez, and in this class of organizational leadership, a lot of information that I already knew was reinforced, but I also gained a lot of knowledge out of this class, which I'm very happy about because after I graduate, I plan to pursue a career in either the banking department or the education field. This information is going to be very useful for me because I will not only be dealing with customers, but also employees and maybe even students. In this class, I was reinforced that everyone needs to be a leader, and that it is possible for everyone to be a leader because leaders are not born, leaders are made. I will always use my power responsibly, and I will always try to influence people positively because as a leader, that's what one should do. I learned that no one is ever a good enough leader, and because of that, I will always seek to improve my leadership skills. That way, when I'm working with my customers, working with my coworkers, I'm able to be more productive and get the job done. I learned about self-awareness and how this is the ability to understand oneself. Self-awareness is important because when one can understand their own emotions, feelings, and how they are feeling, they will be able to better control them. I feel this is an important quality for one to possess and for one to learn because we will be able to work with our customers, peers, and coworkers and be able to transmit our emotions without being rude or hurtful, and other people will better understand where we're coming from because of the fact that we are able to let them know how we feel. Self-awareness and social awareness helps us to have better relationships with our peers and customers because when we can empathize with others' feelings and understand our own, we can make balanced choices. We can make balanced choices by knowing what we're feeling, knowing what they're feeling, and knowing how to meet in the middle. Because I plan to work in either the banking field or the education field, I feel that some information that I'm really going to be able to use is Hofstede's dimensions of culture. I feel they are very, very important because he got the key components of what a culture dimension focuses on, what they like and what they don't like. For example, power distance is how a culture accepts or doesn't accept unequal distribution of power. Some cultures are absolutely okay with that, and some cultures are not. For example, the United States states liberty and justice for all. Liberty and justice for all means equal power, equal everybody. As to where other cultures might not feel that way, other cultures might be okay with distribution of powers based on the knowledge position or the position that someone holds. Uncertainty avoidance is another thing that Hofstede talks about, which is not knowing the future. It's not knowing the future and not knowing where you're going. Some cultures are okay with that, and some cultures absolutely need rules and step-by-steps, even if they are not followed. For example, the Mexican culture needs step-by-step, even if they are not absolutely made or not gone through the whole way, they need rules in order to feel like they are successful. Individualism versus collectivism is another one. Masculinity versus femininity is another one. And long-term versus short-term orientation is another one. I feel that Hofstede's dimensions of culture touches base with all ends of the spectrum, and I feel that is important to know because no matter where someone works, there will always be people of different cultures. People of different cultures will always have cultural clashes if a manager or a leader doesn't know how to handle them or how to know what end of the spectrum they're at. When I think of Hofstede's dimensions of culture, I feel that I'm going to be able to use this because I can meet in the middle with my coworkers, my customers, and we can say, you know what, these are the set of rules we're going to follow. This is going to be our organizational culture, where no matter our social culture and our roots that we come from, we'll be able to follow these set of rules to meet our goals and be productive. Hofstede's Dimensions to me is probably the most fascinating thing I learned, and the thing I'm going to use the most out in the workforce, aside with everything else that I learned.